Hello everyone and welcome to Road America for round 4 of the South African simGT series, the penultimate round of the 2017.2 season. And I'm Jason Holden-Jones and I'm joined by Gert, James and Werner Heenop in the commentary booth. Welcome chaps.
Thank you very much, Jason. It's going to be an exciting race today. We're nearing the end of the 2017.2 season and we can already get a picture of what the final positions can look like at the end of this race. Gert.
Absolutely, it's nice to be here, nice to be back, and what a wonderful way to wind down on a Monday evening. That was that's basically the conclusion to a day from hell for most people. Or maybe I'm just speaking for myself.
And there we have it, folks. Gert, James. And, yeah, we're into the qualifying session and we have got 11 minutes or just under 12 minutes remaining. In fact, we're watching Wayne Wortley in the mixed racing white Nissan GTR on a flying lap, and let's see what he can produce on his first flyer.
Let's take a quick look at the championship standings. Gabriel Rousseau is leading the championship. He's won every race so far, which has been Mugello, Monza and Road Atlanta. He's standing on 100 points. Of course, he gets 50 points for a win. And the lowest score, the driver of all 5 races, doesn't count. So he's on 100 points at this stage. He's followed by Marcus Steyn in second position on 92 points. And then Bashir Judgewat and Leslie Oliphant are tied for third on 89 points.
Been a couple of moves that happened this season with Gabriel Rousseau picking up a new teammate, a few moves and shakes happening in team perspective, from a team perspective, and then also you know, some lesser known drivers actually showing that they actually have what it takes to run with the big dogs. So it's been, in many ways, a watershed season, the 2017.2 season.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had, as Gert mentioned there, sort of new drivers coming through. Been part of that watershed moment. One of those drivers, you could argue, is Christopher Langeveld, who's done very well this season. Leslie Oliphant, of course, too, not only in the GT series but in the M2 series too. And yeah, Kyle Swanepoel too in the KDS Motorsport BMW. Justin Barocchi too. I think it's his 3rd race ever this evening with us and always been on the pace.
Guys like Wesley Ferrand.
Absolutely, yeah. So many names. And the future is bright for the Sim Race South Africa going forward. And I think we're in for a we're going to finish this exciting season first, but of course we've got the 2018.1 season starting in February next year. And if you're watching this, you want to start getting prepared for that. We got the 2017.2 Open Sim MX5 series happening at the moment. The next race is not this Wednesday, but the next week Wednesday. And if you want to start racing with us, that is the race to get started with. But at the moment it is Bashir Judgewat on provisional pole position for the moment. He's done a 203.503, and then his teammate Marcus Steyn, his Ghostworks teammate Marcus Steyn, with a 204.011.5 with the pace, but right up there. And the time's looking very close indeed, with a 203.5 and a second separating what is at the top 4 or 5 at the moment. We expect those times to close up. So Gert, you've been in this position before that Gabriel's been in, just sort of almost there to clinch the championship, but not quite. You know, can you explain to the viewers how you could be possibly feeling at the moment?
Our situations are markedly different.
Yeah.
At the time where I was in a position to maybe clinch the championship, I knew that I needed to either win or get second with the next possible guy maybe finishing in the 3rd or the 4th position. So mathematically I had a chance of winning it, but it was always going to be hard work. In Gabriel's position, he's basically won every single race there is for the last 2 seasons. So with it obviously comes a certain expectation, and he's probably one of the his hardest critics himself. You know, he's very harsh on himself. Admittedly, he basically said that his own preparation for this race may not have been as fantastic as it should have been, but ultimately I don't believe for 1 second that this guy is going to rock up tonight and settle for anything less but a win. So I don't think he's nervous at all right now. I think he's pretty much going to knuckle down and do exactly what he's been doing for the last 2 seasons.
I checked the math before the race. A 5th or better will seal the deal for Gabriel Rousseau at the front. That's worst case scenario for him. That's if you assume that Marcus Steyn wins the race. So if Marcus Steyn doesn't win, less than a 5th will do the job as well.
Yeah, I don't think in that regard there's too much pressure on Gabriel right now, and it will be a successful defense of his title. Something that I don't think has happened yet, if memory serves me correct.
Sorry, Gert, I missed that last part. Can you repeat what you said?
Has there been successful title defenses in the past?
That's a very good question. I will check that stat for you, but I can't say offhand. Yeah.
Because I've only been involved since 2015 or 02, and I can only speak from personal experience. And every single season that I've been taking part in, there's been a different winner. No,
there hasn't been a successful defense so far. So Gabriel Rousseau won the last season, and then UCAT won 2016. They ran for the tie. Then 2015.2 was Boyd Bryson. 2015.1 was Bashir Jadwat. We got on to 2015. So yeah, as you say, Gert, Gabriel is about to make history here at SimRace South Africa.
He's on the cusp.
Well, I think he will be doing. Let's see if he can do it. I'm sure he can.
On the cusp.
Jadwat goes fastest with the 203.319. So now on second.
Just got a message from Adrian Government in the YouTube live chat saying that Gert, you're a bit soft. I don't know if you can turn up your volume on your microphone.
I can try.
See what you can do there. Yeah.
People have been complaining on Discord a lot that I'm quite soft.
Okay.
Maybe I need to bring the hardness out. See, output volume. Bump that up a bit.
So as I think it's better. Adrian, if you can comment to say if it's better or not, that'll be great. Yeah, just made a change.
Yes.
And Ryan,
give us some input.
Ryan here suggesting you can change your Discord volume, transmit volume. Not sure exactly
Yeah,
what
I've done that. I've done that.
Okay.
I've done the output volume.
Well, you sound fine to me, Gert.
Okay.
I can still hear myself, I think, through your system there at the moment.
Oh dear.
So what you can do about that.
Gert, I'm pretty sure the echo is with you. I switched off my mic now for a couple of minutes and I still hear it.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do with that. But at the moment is Jadwat still on provisional pole position. He's taken that back from Gabriel Rousseau by 0.1 of a second. There's the Olifant in third with a 203.893. Marcus Steyn in fourth. Wayne Wortley in fifth. And then we have the first of the BMWs, Christopher Langenfeld in sixth. Quinter in seventh. And Swanepoel in eighth. So 3 BMWs, 6, 7, 8th. Kerry Crawford in 9th, and Bongi Mabida completes the top 10 for the moment. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Okay, I am much louder apparently. So I'm going to turn down my mic slightly. Okay, let's see if that's better.
So how's the echo now, boys?
Can I hit 1, 2, 3? I can still hear myself.
That is very strange.
Jason, can you just do a quick camera switch? Have you been switching cameras now?
Okay, I've turned you up on Discord now. Let's see if that helps. I can control your volume.
Okay.
It should be better. Sorry, Werner, what did you say?
Are you switching cameras at the moment?
No, I haven't switched for a while. Let's go and see what Christopher Langerfeld is doing. One moment. There we go.
Okay, still good. So it's Langerfeld 6.
Okay.
Quite a close field. We got 4 drivers below the 204 mark. Less than 2 seconds separating the first 13 drivers.
And I think we've sorted out the echo problem, so that's much better, Kat, whatever you did.
Yeah, I'm basically just muting my microphone in between, speaking.
Okay. Ryan Hill suggested you use the push to talk. Perhaps that works.
Yeah, that might work as well.
Yeah. So we're just going to have a bit of a Discord course here from Ryan Hill on the YouTube live chat. And,
yeah, no, unfortunately, push to talk doesn't really work with me.
Okay.
I use Discord for various things, and push to talk becomes a cumbersome thing.
Yeah. Understand that, yeah. So it's still Cabrosa still in second position. He is 0.8 down in his delta time, but I think he'll be able to cross the line to do another flying lap. But it's Judd Watt reigning supreme here at Road America for the moment. And yeah, Leslie Oliphant's now popped into third position in the RPM Sim Racing Team Audi. So it's Ghostworks from Mixed Racing White, from RPM Sim Racing Team, from Ghostworks, from Mixed Racing White. So nice mixture there.
Good to see Wayne Wortley doing his magic in the Nissan.
Absolutely.
Third position.
And we're going to go on board Gabriel to see what he can do in probably his last flying lap. And he'll be pushing out to try and make up that 10th deficit to provisional pole man Bashir Jadwat.
Watch the lines for everyone watching this.
He's going to need 800ths of a second if he wants to beat Jadwat.
He's up at 10th on his delta. If he can continue this momentum, he's going to have Bashir Jadwat. Let's see what Gabriel can do this last section.
Looks like he can get some traffic up ahead.
That's
Gonna be
not
very
traffic. That
close.
is a slipstream, man.
Yeah, it's a slipstream. I was just about to say that, yeah. And he might be able to catch him before the main straight too. Just needs another 2/100ths of a second. Let's see if he can get it. It's going to be monumentally close.
He's 1.5 tenths up, so you can do it. 2 turns to go.
Gabriel are using that turn 12 white line exception rule as well. The guys can run, the drivers can run wide there, but not there. It's lost time. Oh, this is going to be close. It's a run to the line. No, he does not improve. So it is Bashir Jadwat who will claim pole position, his first pole position in South African simGT this season. Can you believe it?
You know, I think what happened is he actually just missed the cutoff time. He was 900s down, and when he crossed the line, so he might have just missed the cutoff time for that lap.
Quite possibly.
So there we go. It's Jadwat out in front with the 203.3, followed by Gabriel Rousseau, the championship leader, 203.4, just 1/10 of a second behind. Willie Font in third position on the championship. He's also in third position on the grid. Marcus Steyn in second place in the championship at this stage, 203.9 seconds in fourth. Wortley in fifth, Langeveld in sixth, Chase Gunther in seventh, Wesley Ferrand in eighth. Kyle Swanepoel and Gerrit Crawford finishes up at top 10. 11th is Hodgson. Bongi Mabida, nice to see him back. He's in 12th. Chris Heineke 13. Edwards 14. Barocchi 15. Lindsay Ray in the R8 and 16. Geldnay 17. De Wit, Arhoff. And that's your 19 drivers for today.
Unfortunately, we don't have Jamal Gandor joining the grid. He unfortunately cannot find our server for whatever reason. And he's frantically trying to get that to work, but it's not quite working out for him, unfortunately. But I know he's watching the YouTube live stream. And,
it's kind of sad that only one part of the posse that was involved in one of the most spectacular Assetto Corsa crashes ever on this track last season is driving in this race. That's Mr. Gerrit Crawford. Mark Henneberry is not here. Was one of the most
I remember that crash.
Just in normal racing.
He almost lost his wheels from the car.
And that would have taken some doing in Assetto Corsa.
Okay, we're about 20 seconds away from the start of the pace lap. And Bashir Jadot will lead the field around lap 1, all in single file. And start the race from the final corner of the circuit and start racing from lap 2. And us three are going to make sure that we leave the grid. We've got all 3 cars, that's great. And Bashir Jadwat has now started the pace lap. Off we go. And a very interesting conversation with Bashir Jadwat. He was in commentary for the last chance qualifier session on Friday evening, and he was mentioning that the soft tire, the medium tire, and the hard tire were all valid options for this race, and we could sort of expect an exciting strategy war throughout the hour-and-a-half race. And so we'll see what happens there. Werner, if you can sort of tell us who's on what tire, that would be great.
Okay, actually don't have the, what is the B-cast?
Yes.
Don't have the app active. I don't have it activated at this stage. Let me see if I can make a plan.
Great.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
I don't have the app activated.
Gert, by chance, do you have it activated?
I don't have anything activated that could tell me that, but I can maybe have a look at the standings, the leaderboard thing.
Okay. Oh yes, yeah, you can do that. That'll work. Yeah.
It doesn't tell me too much though. Basically, it gives me the back 2 markers. I can see Jadwat's on mediums.
Okay.
Heineke's on mediums. Everyone else is on mediums except position number 15.
Oh.
Barocchi.
And then you've got a Vitties on hards. That's what I can see. But any position between 2 and 12 I can't see.
And we've had a bit of a drama. Nick Hodgson has fallen right to the back of the grid. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but he's down to 19th position.
He started in 11th, so he lost 8 places.
So all the drivers now preparing themselves mentally for the start of this race. Trying to warm up their tyres, weaving side to side, dragging the brakes perhaps, trying to get the brakes up to temperature.
This is going to be a finger-licking encounter.
Absolutely. And
watching
Gabriel,
Jadwat take off with Gabriel Rousseau in tow after him.
So Gabriel Rousseau finds himself in unfamiliar territory, starting from 2nd position this season. And off we go, the race has started, down the main straight we go, and Rousseau is right with Jadwat. He's caught him at the right time, and he's going to run with him. He's going to be in the slipstream. Under the bridge we go. And here we go. Surely Rousseau's going to have a go. And both Gabriel Rousseau side by side with Jadwat towards turn 1. So they're both battling for traction. Wow, sideways action. There's Oliphant in 3rd, trying to challenge Rousseau for 2nd. Here comes Oliphant. No, upside of it. And here comes Marcus Steyn, Jadwat's teammate. In 4th position, so this is going to be a crazy encounter. Gert and Werner, wow.
Brilliant start to the race. Let's hope.
There comes Wayne Wortley now and Marcus Steyn. Granted and simGT are showing down that back straight, and he's got it. Wortley up into 4th position. Oh, there's contact. Whoa, into the wall. It's gone pear-shaped for Wortley, and he's taken Leslie Oliphant with him. So contact there, or he rejoins in a dangerous maneuver, and unfortunately he's taken out 3 or 4 drivers in the process. So that doesn't go to plan.
Edwards also got some, also lost a lot of ground there.
Absolutely. And
already 26 overtakes in this race so far. I got the overtake counter going.
Absolutely.
I haven't even completed a lap.
So it's all kicking off here at Road America. And Jadwat's laughing is off with a 1.6 second lead over Gabriel Rousseau. And Marcus Steyn in 3rd now. So Ghostworks looking great. 1st and 3rd at the moment. Let's go and have a look at the back here. A lot of action. Chase
unfortunate for Oliphant, he fell back 14 places. He's in 17th.
No, wait, that's expensive. But Gunther now challenging fellow BMW driver Christopher Langerfeld for 4th position, and the BMW is looking strong at Road America. They're all over Marcus Steyn there in 3rd position. Let's see what this BMWs can do over this 90-minute race. Take it to the Audis, and then we've got the first Lamborghini of Wesley Ferrant in 6th position. Jadwat with the fastest lap of 2:06.209. Expect those lap times to come down by 2 or 3 seconds.
Oliphant already passed Harhoff and Mabida, so he's already up to 15th, clawing his way back. Jadwat with a 1.5 second gap at the front.
We're now watching Carl Swanepoel in the KDS Motorsport BMW. He's under pressure from Chris Heineke in the Reaper Ghostworks Audi. This is the 13th position battle between Lindsay Ray and behind him is Peter Geldenes, and they're together with Hugo de Wit in the white Audi R8.
Looking at Lindsay Ray going into turn 12 behind Hugo de Wit. Lindsay Ray already up 3 places from 16th. He's up to 13th. De Wit having a fantastic first 3 laps, 3 race laps, he's up from 18th to 12th. Jadwat with the new fastest lap, 204.644. Willie Font was down at 17th up to 14th now. He just passed Holden-Jones. Lindsay Ray looking at a move on De Wit. That is Willie Font now putting Lindsay Ray under pressure as we go down the back straight. Jason, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we hear. Absolutely. We got Chris Heineke now up from 9th to 8th position after a move on Carl Swanepoel. That gap opening up straight away to 0.3 of a second.
Rousseau's last. We see Brent Lindsay Ray on the inside down the start finish line making a move on De Wit with Olifant in the background. Will Olifant try to make a move as well? I think he's a bit too far. De Wit might come back at Lindsay Ray. No, he decides against it. But now Olifant's going to be on De Wit as we go down to turn 2. Olifant staying patient behind De Wit. I see Gabriel Rousseau's last lap was 0.3 faster than Jadwat, so he is catching up to Jadwat.
Quite a different show of pace there. Werner and Gert, Lindsay Ray much quicker down the main straight but struggling through the corners. So perhaps Lindsay Ray's Audi running a lot less wing than, say, for example, Hugo De Wit. Noticeable difference there in setup.
Brent Lindsay Ray is not adverse to doing that. He's done that in seasons gone past. A race at Donington, the Nissan, where he did exactly the same thing. Where everyone behind him would have his number in the corner, but the moment you get out of the corners, he was gone. You couldn't even catch a slipstream on him, mainly because he ran such low downforce. So maybe he just pushed it and clicked too far for this race.
Oh.
Interesting to note.
Oh, contact!
Oh, my word.
Here comes Bongi Mabida in the Porsche. He sees the opportunity and he takes it.
Interesting to note, Brent Lindsay Ray does have the highest top speed, 277 kilometers an hour, while De Wit is 10 kilometers an hour slower, 267. Looking at Bongi Mabida now. This is Wayne Wortley. He's under pressure from Holden-Jones and Edwards behind Holden-Jones as well.
Yeah, the unfortunate reality is that Nissan is not going to be anywhere near its best after that early contact. I mean, it wasn't just the contact with the car next to him, it was also the contact with the wall, and then the rejoin, more contact with cars. That car's not going to be driving anywhere near what it is used to.
Holden is flashing his lights at Edwards.
Gabriel Rousseau's made some time up on Bashir Jadwat. Down to less than a second now.
He was 3/10 faster on lap 5. He was 4/10 faster on... sorry, he was 3/10 faster and then 4/10 faster. So he took 7/10 out in 2 laps.
I noticed at the start of the race, right before the race started, I'm thinking maybe that's the way it was supposed to. With Gabriel Rousseau starting on the soft tyre and Bashir Jadwat starting on the medium tyre. So that can account for the rather large lap time discrepancy at the moment. Drivers. And add to that the added slipstream effect from being less than a second behind your opponent. We could be in for a thing or two come the next lap.
Marcus. Oh!
Around goes Edwards.
That's unfortunate.
An attempt on
The
Divot
bit-
didn't go wrong.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they made contact.
And Edwards is also in the mix. See, he's also slow on track. Oh, the 3 of them. Very costly for them.
Edwards does the right thing and waits for Divot to rejoin in front of him. But he's lost out to Holden as well. So Holden is up into 17th position.
Edwards losing 18 seconds. That incident. Divot 14 and Holden is 15. Looks like Rousseau was a bit slower on this lap. He was up to 8/10 at one stage.
Bit of air there for Jadwat, clipping that apex. And that's allowed Rousseau to close right in on him. Let's go on board with Rousseau. Down the main straight we go. But not catching up anymore. That gap stabilizing.
He's only 6/10 behind now. I see Marcus Steyn is also lapping faster than Jadwat. So up 8/10 on his delta, or is behind 8/10 on his delta, so he made a mistake somewhere on this lap.
Sometimes the way his car is set up, it's just basically just of that nature where you spend too much time on a curb and you lose all traction, you lose all of it. It's pretty much that. Your suspension is stiff. Sometimes your car can handle the curb, sometimes. And he's been pushing very hard on that lap, and I think personally that maybe he spent just a little bit too much time on a specific curb.
Holden-Jones and De Wit fighting it out for 16th place. There we see Edwards having a look.
Great scrap this. This is for 16th position, but they don't mind that. They're going absolutely all at it. Yeah, great racing between these three.
A bit on the inside now of Holden-Jones coming into turn 12. Hard on the brakes, I don't think he's going to get it this time.
There's something poetic about a banged up car with a sticker that reads Kapow.
Could he get good drive out of the last turn? Don't think so. Actually, Edwards having an opportunity now.
Edwards going to get him, I think. Let's see what happens.
Quite easily, it looks.
And Gert, De Wit's team name is called Need Luck, so that fits together nicely.
Edwards' top speed a full 7 kilometers an hour faster than De Wit. Nick Hodgson made a mistake somewhere on the field. He lost places to Swanepoel. Yeah, it looks like he lost 1 place. He's 4.8 seconds behind on his delta.
Here's an interesting scrap here for 12th position. Lindsay Ray, Oliphant and Mabida. Great fight here. 2 Audis and a Porsche. And I think we finally got our audio problem sorted out, gents. So good work. So Oliphant now looking to, he's recovering, and he's looking to recover to 12th position if he can put a number on Lindsay Ray. So this is Echo Racing, leading RPM sim racing team. Good battle this is turning out to be.
Gabriel was lost an inordinate amount of time to Bashir Jadwat over the last couple of laps. Marcus State is now right up on his tailpipe.
Rousseau's last lap was a 2:06 and his lap before that was a 2:07.
Something's wrong there.
As we look at Leslie Oliphant still clawing his way back through the field. He's behind Lindsay Ray now trying to get a tow, and behind him we have the red Porsche Bongi Mabida. It's going to be interesting. Mabida pulling out of it. Oliphant is passed. Chris Heineke has made a mistake somewhere down the field. Barocchi, Swanepoel and Hodgson passing him. There we see him.
Chris
Heineke
Heineke
still slow, slow.
He's in fact just retired from the race. So problems there for Chris Heineke, and Reaper goes to works. Our first retirement. Chris Heineke is off. And here comes...
that is Lindsay Ray on Mabida.
Mabida's actually going to pass Lindsay Ray. And he's got him for 12th. So that Netk 911 Porsche looking pretty quick here at Road America. This is the almighty battle for second position between Gabriel Rousseau and Marcus Stan in the Ghost Works sandwich. Jadwat ahead of him and Stan behind him. And Rousseau coming under pressure now. This is the first time we've seen this season. coming up to be in traffic as well.
Heenop is back in the race from the pits.
Heenop is back in, perhaps suffering from a technical issue, line problems or a hardware problem, could be. But yeah, we continue to watch the fight for second position between Rousseau and Stain, the big guns. And they're coming up to put a lap on, who's that at the back? Is that Chris Heenop? Yes, it is. So Heenop is down. Yeah, he's almost about to be lapped. And Heenop is catching up to, who would that be? I think that is Quentin Haroff. Is it? No, it's not. Bashir Jadwat is in fact already put a lap on Heenop. Chris Heenop 19th, and in the second place battle.
Oh, and we see somebody wide there.
I think that was just Heenop getting out of the way.
Heenop getting out of the way, yeah.
But Stan starting to hurry now. Gabriel trying to force him into an error.
I'm wondering if this is not a byproduct of Gabriel Rousseau maybe running the soft tires, and they are starting to not give the kind of grip that he's accustomed to.
Yeah, that could be, absolutely. But our second DNF, or our first DNF, as Chris Heenop rejoined, is Justin Barocchi, so he's down from 15th position, dropping right down.
Garrett Crawford dangerously close to Wesley Farrant. Definitely looking towards an overtake there. Garrett Crawford, of course, being one of those drivers that when he gets it right, he's an extremely tough customer to contend with.
Barocchi is back from the pits.
Disconnected again.
Yeah. Lamborghini looking pretty quick for that last corner, interestingly enough. Lamborghini should have the edge on the Audi R8 down the main straight too. They're about even. Is starting to close the gap towards the end.
It actually looks like he's got the legs on the Lambo.
Yeah. Which is not normally the case. Gert is normally Lamborghini can pull away.
Stain is past Rousseau for second.
He's got him. It looks to have happened at turn 1.
I'm just thinking that might be a tyre thing. The experience of drop off in the tyres about 3 or 4 laps ago, and ever since then it was difficult to hang on.
Because as you mentioned, Gert, he had that he sort of dropped 3 seconds off the pace. Perhaps he had it off camera and it sort of overheated the tyres, and the tyres haven't been able to recover.
You're right. He's 2.4 seconds down on his delta. So he lost 2.4 seconds somewhere. Heenop disconnected. That's very unfortunate for Barocchi and Heenop. Looks like Langeveld is closing in on Chase Gunther for 4th. So is losing ground fast to Steyn. Steyn increasing that gap back to Rousseau. As it stands now, a 3rd place will be sufficient for Rousseau to clinch the championship. But I'm pretty sure you won't be happy with that. You would want to win.
Yeah, he would want that perfect record of being unbeaten. And,
still far from over the race.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the thing is, there's still a pit stop looming. And who knows when it's about to, for all you know, about to pit maybe 5 or so laps, 4 laps, put on some mediums, run till the end. Who knows, maybe that 5 or 6 seconds gap between himself and Bashir Jadwat can overhaul that once it gets on the tire. It's going to be interesting.
Absolutely.
Because from what I've seen, memory serves me correct, Bashir Jadwat came out in the medium. Might actually a longer run in the medium, considering out in pole position. I've seen a lot of guys make the mistake qualifying in 4th position further back, coming out soft tires, and then running those soft tires ragged inside the first 5 laps because they're in traffic. And they're defending, they're basically driving offline, they are not driving on the optimal line, and they are literally scrubbing the tires to scraps inside the. So Bashir Jadwat being pole position.
Harov Jadwat is off, Jadwat is off.
Oh no! Marcus Steyn inherits the lead and Gabriel Rousseau goes through to 2nd.
Wow, all I can think there was contact between Jadwat and Harov. Because Harov was against the wall and Jadwat fell right back, so yeah.
And that's how quickly things can change, gents.
Lost 9 seconds.
Well, we've got a race on our hands, guys. Wow.
And there's damage on that car of Jadwat now.
Yeah.
That would make him fuming. I know who's laughing to the bank right now, and that's Mr. Marcus Steyn.
Absolutely. Especially on course for a victory. It's been a long time coming again for Marcus Stan. He's the race winner, I think, in South African simGT series, but not for a long time. Stan will be loving this.
He's always been right up, always threatening.
Absolutely.
If there's someone in the top 5 in a race, always pinpoint where you can say, but surely that guy should have won a race or 2 in the past. It must be Marcus. But as the records will show, he hasn't done that yet. Maybe tonight's his night.
And it would be well deserved too, if you can put it off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The amount of hard work he's been putting in over the last few years. And just the sheer, how can I put it, the consistency of his performances. It's almost unbelievable that he hasn't won one yet.
Yeah, one word comes to mind when we talk about Marcus, and that is determination. Just keeps pushing, and eventually it'll go his way, and looks like it's going that way this evening. But we've still got a long way to go. Only 16 laps done of 43.
Exactly. And that pit stop is going to be telling.
In fact, he's going to come into some severe pressure from Rousseau and Jadwat towards the sort of middle part of the race, I think. And Rousseau is starting to creep back at Stain. That gap down to 1.2 seconds.
That's the thing. It's relative unfamiliar territory for Marcus Stain to the race fashion like that, where he's outright leading without having, pit stops, force him into the lead temporarily. This is uncharted territory. And Gabriel Rousseau is going to be charging down.
Surely Jadwat's in to do some repairs as well.
Yeah, he's probably found that repairs. So the car's obviously not doing what he wants. Coming pits with medium tires, it's too early for that. That's repairs.
I see Rousseau's last lap was only 500ths off of the fastest lap of the race. He did it 2:04.8. So he is catching up to Stain.
That basically means one of two things. Either the soft tires are doing the job, but he has to back off every now and again simply because it overheats.
How will that affect his strategy, seeing Jadwat in pits?
You know something? It's very difficult to say. If I'm Gabriel right now, I would not go into the pits. I would push the soft tires as far as I possibly could, try and hang with Marcus Stain as long as I possibly can, and then let R&G take over once the pit stop window comes.
Jadwat is catching some traffic. He's down at 12th.
Yeah, this is the danger of doing an early pit stop, is that you can fall right back into traffic and spend a lot of time there trying to get past other drivers while your rivals extend their lead in the front, running in clean air.
And he would have known that going into the pits. He would have known that, which just gives credence to the fact that he probably went to the pits against his will. It was not a decision made lightly.
Unfortunately, we've lost Wayne Wortley as well. He's also DNF. So Jadwat's flashing lights at Lindsay Ray.
Well, unfortunately, Lindsay Ray is not being lapped. He's under no obligation to make way, Bashir.
I think there's probably a bit of frustration creeping in.
And here's the thing, that car is so quick in a straight line because of the low downforce. Oh my goodness. Oh, he just let him go. That was gentlemanly. I'm not sure I would have done the same thing. It's not often that you can be in a position on the track that you can actually ask someone like Bashir to race you.
On board with Rousseau, he's already 3/10 faster than Steyn on this lap. Make that a half a second, Steyn losing more time.
Now that line through that last two corners were integrated, and he's definitely covering the inside line.
He might just have a go here.
Well, he's announced it. He's there. Late on the brakes. No! Keep your cool, guys!
Fantastic driving. He's still got an opportunity. He will take that place from Steyn.
Well done.
That was great driving by both of them. I think it was a slight contact, but that's fair enough. And Chris Heinecke, one of our retirees, just saying that one of the back markers spun and then rejoined, rolled back onto the track in front of Bashir. And he had nowhere to go.
Oh,
so
that's...
there was that incident that happened earlier. Let's see Jadwat down in 11th position and recovering.
Rousseau is our third leader of the race. We've seen Jadwat lead 14 laps, Steyn for 4 laps, and if Rousseau can finish this one leading the race, that'll be his first lap that he leads. Woodefan still clawing his way back. He's fighting with Hodgson for 8th. Hodgson not giving up.
The thing is, I know what it feels like, especially on the track, to be right up there pace-wise and then have an incident like that, basically bring your race ambitions, your podium ambitions to an end. So I can actually empathize with someone like Bashir right now. The same thing happened last season with myself. Coming from a race win at Bathurst, end up at a place like this, couple races down the line, and feel you've got the tracks now. Then just one small little incident causes to spend time in the pits when you least expect it, and that's essentially your race gone because of the caliber of racing that exists in this competition. A small thing like that is the difference between a podium position and finishing mid-pack. That's not to say that Bashir is completely out of it. The gaps between himself and the drivers in front of each other, in front of him, not that great. It's 4 seconds to Bongi, another 4 seconds to Leslie, 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds. It's not huge margins, and Bashir is definitely more than capable to make up at least 3 or 4 of those. With a little bit of luck, maybe even 5. But it's going to be tough.
He's 45 seconds from the lead, and I see his pit lane time was 49 seconds. So he's still in with a shot if he can manage the traffic. Depending on when Rousseau and Steyn decide to pit. See, Wortley is back in the fight, but he's 3 laps down on the leader.
Yeah, we must just also keep in mind that his pit stop would have been a little bit longer because of repair.
Can you see which tires he is on now?
Right now, see, he's on mediums.
He might just take it to the end.
Rousseau is actually also on medium. My word. I thought it was on soft, but as it turns out, him inheriting the lead, my timing screen allows me to see position 1 and then position 11 up.
Staying in the pits.
Now we can actually see what tires Rousseau's on, and he's on mediums, he's not on softs. It would be interesting to find out from him what his little hiccup was about 8 laps in, what caused him to run 2 seconds a lap slower. Consistently.
It's gonna be interesting to see where Steyn exits compared to Jadwat. Jadwat is coming around the last turn now. It's gonna be very close. Because Steyn is going to keep his position. He's going to exit in 9th, just about 2 seconds ahead of Jadwat.
I wonder if that was Steyn coming in a bit earlier just to cover his teammate and keep the lead of the race. Perhaps he noticed Jadwat was closing the gap. Just from a track position point of view, just coming in a bit earlier. Cover him off.
Chase Gunther also made his stop. He was running in 4th and he's lying in 12th position now. Willifant is past Hodgson. That is for 6th.
Kyle Swanepoel finding himself currently running in 5th.
I wonder if this pit stops will trigger Rousseau as well. Might just make sense for him to stop now and ensure that he exits in front of Steyn. But no, he's not in the pits. He's staying out.
Of course, this Steyn finding himself in traffic with Bongi Mabila's playing into Rousseau's hands, of course, because this is slowing down Steyn all the time.
Oh, look at that dive!
Yeah, there was a bit of a dive there, Gert. Bongi saw him coming though. And now Bashir Jadwat has to find a way past the Netcare 911 Porsche. Let's see how quick Porsche is compared to the Audi down the main straight.
That was actually a crucial pass on Bongi there. He basically puts a car between himself and Bashir. It's not the easiest thing in the world to get past a car in the first, second sectors on the track. Oh, giving it the beans. And that's where the Audi is so good. Just the traction in the fast sweeping corners where other cars need to tap off a little bit, you know, it's where the Audis can really capitalize.
Mabida is going to make a move as well. That's they're lapping.
Quinton Harhoff in the Synergy Racing Audi. Just put a lap there.
Front in the pits.
Derek Crawford snuck his way into third position.
Okay, we've got Mabida also into the pits with front, and the Vit's just left, I think. Yeah, but it's very much the two Ghostworks Audis of Marcus Steyn and Bashir Jadwat fighting Rousseau for the lead of this race. While the Ghostworks Audis fight their way through traffic after doing both early pit stops after Jadwat had the incident with the back marker.
And Rousseau is going into the pits. He's going to pit now. Yep, there he goes.
Yeah,
This is going to
be. Yeah.
I think he's
Hold
going
on to your hats,
be
boys.
ahead of.
Hold on to your hats, your kitchen sink, just about everything you have.
hold your toes and your thumbs.
We are these two.
Langeveld now leading the race.
They're in traffic though, unfortunately, for the Ghostworks Audis. And they've got who's that? Yeah, Nick Hodgson to deal with. And Rousseau leaves his grid slot or his pit stop.
Traffic in the pits as well. Rousseau's coming out.
No, he's got it. He's going to get traffic though. Two cars. Will they get past? Yeah, Olifant. And here comes Swanepoel. Is he going to have a go? Oh, Steyn's at an issue. Off he goes into turn one.
Oh
Wow.
no, heartbreaking.
Oh, it's gone pear-shaped for Steyn. That's killer. Brutal
That's
race this
heartbreaking.
is. Wow, it's full of ups and downs. Jadwat now trying to find a way past Hodgson. But this race has now suddenly swung the way of Gabriel Rousseau. We had a difficult start to this race, but he's recovered well. And, he's still on the way to win the Drivers' Championship. Of course, he always was. And we've passed the halfway mark of this race. 24 laps done of 43. And so now we'll try and keep it clean through traffic.
How heartbreaking is that? Oh my word.
We didn't quite see what happened. I don't know if Steyn in the area himself or he had contact with another car. But we panned to him, suddenly he was off, recovering at turn one.
See, ever since the tyre update like a season or so ago, setting up these cars to run over a little bit of curb has been extremely difficult. And this track, more than others, tend to punish you a heck of a lot when you put a little bit too much of your car on it. And when you mash the gas pedal just a little bit too much while you've got two wheels on. And it hurts. It was running well, and from what it looked like from my vantage point, whenever we over, it looked like it was just him spending a little bit of time on a curb when he shouldn't. You can maybe check with him a little bit after the race to make sure what happened.
Heineken is just saying in the YouTube live chat that Stan and Nick made contact. So possibly Nick Hodgson involved there.
I see Nick's last lap was at 2 minute 10, so he probably lost some time as well due to the contact.
So with a look up the inside of Oliphant. Rousseau going for the move.
Holy moly, holy moly.
Rousseau to pull out of that one. He's going to run the outside. Oh, that's very wow. He's got it moved done. So Rousseau ever determined.
That guy's as cool as a cucumber, I'm telling you. That's not something that you do when you are nervous. That's something you do when you are in complete control of what you are doing. That's why I said at the start of this race, there's probably very little nerves going on in that. It's basically him knowing what he needs to do, and him doing it.
Langeveld in the pits. Yeah, again, Gabriel is so consistency is just proving to be so powerful for him, and doesn't have the fastest lap of the race, but he just stays consistent, just doesn't make mistakes.
So Langeveld in from the lead of this race to do his mandatory pit stop. Actually, Rousseau's going to take over the lead.
Here's a little bit of insight for most of you guys watching them. Having a conversation with him about setting up a vehicle, you know, his preparation, that sort of thing. And then he just mentioned, you know, how, you know, he will spend time running lap times within hundreds of each other. And just tweaking the car's performance, you know, so that he feels comfortable in running lap times hundreds. Now I know sim racers that would be happy to run within a couple of tenths of each other, but not Gabriel. He's the kind of guy that wants to be lap times in succession within hundreds of it. Now if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about this guy, then there's very little else we can mention to make you more acquainted with Gabriel Rousseau. Oh, that's a monster dive.
Yes, dive bomb.
Wow, that's a dive to end all dives. I think
that
he actually
was
felt so bad about it, he pulled out and let the other drive back past.
That wasn't a dive bomb, that was an A bomb.
Terribly sorry, I'll let you back past.
Jolly good show, old chap.
We see Rousseau with Willie van Swanepoel behind him, but Willie van Swanepoel still has to make the stops, as does Hodgson and Geldnys. They haven't made the stops yet. Willie van up the inside of Swanepoel.
That was in fact Judd Watt.
Oh, sorry, Judd Watt.
This is going to be extremely... That makes it less than 4 seconds between Gabriel and Bashir, with Leslie still to pit.
Judd Watt's last lap was 3 tenths faster than Rousseau's, so he's catching up.
When will this end? Are we in for an absolute cracker the last 10 laps of this race or what?
Absolutely. This is going to be fascinating.
And don't discount Marcus yet. He's not that far off.
I was thinking the same thing now.
He's not that far off. Remember, the moment that Bashir catches up with Gabriel, there's going to be a bit of a fight going on. And you can be as much of a Mr. Consistent as you want to. But you are going to lose a little bit of time when someone like Bashir is sitting on your tailpipe. And that might open the door for Marcus Steyn to close that gap slowly but surely. And for all we know, that can be a three-way fight in the last couple of laps.
Hodgson still to pit. That could make things even easier for Steyn if Hodgson goes in now. What tyres is Willifant, Swanepoel and Hodgson on? Gert?
I can't tell you, unfortunately. I can only see position 1, 11, 12, 13. I don't see...
Yeah, Steyn having a go at Hodgson. He went for it and then backed out of it. Perhaps wisely saw contact about to happen. And Steyn saw it too.
Yeah, this is probably the time of the race where you want to be a little bit intelligent about your passing, because an over-eager pass here will end your challenge. And being a little bit patient. Oh goodness, that's a big dive.
It's a great scrap.
That's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to do. That kind of thing could have ended. What you want is a clean pass somewhere, a little bit of patience, and keep yourself in contention for that last 5 lap scrap for first. Any over eagerness here that sees you go off the track, and that basically brings an end to it.
Meanwhile, Langeveld posted the fastest lap of the race, 2:04.494.
Oh my. Oh, another big dive.
Oh,
wow.
The old hip and shoulder.
How's your father? Give him my regards. Cheers.
That Swanepoel in the pits.
You sure? It looked like he was going towards the farmland there for a brief second. Right, so there you go. Leslie Oliphant still to pit. Gabriel Rousseau, Bashir Jadwat, Marcus Steyn. A few laps from now we'll be lying 1, 2 and 3.
Marcus Steyn has made a mistake.
Oh,
disconnected.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
brutal.
And that lays waste to that challenge.
And probably the championship.
Oh my word. Words escape. I do not want to be in that Ghostworks room right now. There will be language like...
Yeah.
It will be the kind that will corrupt most 10-year-olds.
Yeah, okay, and I'm sure that Bashir is pressing the mute sound on the Discord. Switch it off.
Goodness gracious.
Savage.
And I can relate because that's what I would have done.
So this is turning into a mouth-watering battle here. Judd Watts is coming on to reaching Oliphant to challenge him for that second position. Oliphant still to do a pit stop. Oliphant driving very well even after that damage sustained at the start of the race.
Oxen in the pits. Nice getting out of the way for this battle for second.
The gaps opened up. Oliphant made a slight error. He gets a better exit that way.
I don't think that's an error. That's just a different line take.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just all about how you set up the car.
We're just running a bit too much curve there.
Exactly.
Taking the car to get out of the throttle, and Oliphant was able to pull a gap.
This is the one corner where you want a great drive. Slow in, fast out. And it almost looks like he was on the ragged edge of getting it right. But I don't think he's going to challenge for second position at the end of this race. Not quite yet.
Langeveld still putting in good lap times. His last lap 2:04.85.
Now watch for the line. Again, it's all about that line. It's Bashir's much tighter into the hairpin. Leslie seems like he's drifting out to try and catch a late apex on the exit.
Has he got him? Yes, he has.
Yeah, that's not giving it the beans, that's giving it the chakalaka. This is setting up for a huge finish.
So, Werner and Cat, we got Rousseau 5.8 seconds up the road. Now, let's see if that gap's going to come down now. He's got some time, he's got, what, 11 laps remaining? So that's about, what, 0.6 of a second and up, or so? Let's see if Jadwal can take it to Rousseau.
It's about half a second.
Yeah, half a second.
But that's only going to bring you up to the rear of Gabriel. And here's the telling part. none of these guys have had particularly clean races. Yet you still find Gabriel Rousseau at the front, Bashir Jadwat second, Leslie Wolifant third, Charles Langeveld fourth. Basically the suspects that you would expect to find up, which basically shows you there's certain guys that knows how to deal with adversity or adversity a little bit better than some other people. Gabriel's had his moments where he didn't do the lap times that he would have liked. We was punted maybe once or twice, but he's still currently running it first. We've got Bashir Jadwat still, in it to challenge for the win, even after he's off and after contact, spending time in the pits on repairs.
This man Crawford, he started in 10th up to 6th, and I see he's got the best consistency of all drivers on the track on his lap times.
Mr. Crawford there. When he gets it right, he's class.
Yeah, it's great to see Gert back in the championship. This is his second race of the season after a bit of an absence. Doing well in the RPM sim racing team RD.
Value of just keeping your nose for a bit. I don't see any serious dents on that car.
Jadwat and Rousseau's last laps evenly matched, so he's not closing in.
Rousseau will be getting to that, but just managing that gap. And, you're probably looking to keep it constant in around 6 seconds or so. I'm just looking after the car.
Yeah, he'll be keeping a very close eye on that Dell. He would have seen when Bashir Jadwat overtook Leslie Wolifant and, became the next challenger behind him. He can now follow that gap perfectly. You'll be watching that like a hawk.
Yeah, we've got Wayne Wortley's rejoined the server. It's great to see him back in there and trying to get to the end.
That's good character. That's the kind of driver you can go to war with. Nothing really in it. Still willing to rejoin, finish the race.
Rousseau now just 9 laps left to successfully defend his Drivers' Championship title from 2017.1 to become the 2017.2 Drivers' Championship champion as well. And an unbeaten run so far this season, and looks like he's going to keep it that way. And absolutely incredible. Setting the records alight here at Sim Race South Africa is Gabriel Rousseau. It's never been done a clean run like that. We've still got a round remaining too, of course. The next race at Sebring in 2 weeks' time. But the solid chance of wrapping up the championship here at Road America. the
Hodgson really putting in good lap times. His last lap at 2:05.0. He's closing in on Swanepoel.
that is the fight for 8th position.
That's really playing into the hands of Rousseau.
Drove that back into the pits, yeah. Wow.
Did he maybe forget full? But
It looks like that way, Gert.
because he was on medium tires earlier,
He's only got 8 laps remaining.
and I don't think came out softs. Wayne Wortley disconnected again. Very unfortunate.
Chris Heineke is back up and running.
Unfortunately, he's 23 laps behind, or 22 laps behind. Still some valuable points on offer. Langeveld, still the fastest driver on track, did a 2:04.9 on his last lap. But more than 18 seconds behind Rousseau at this stage. Jadwat out in 10th.
Wow, Langeveld's on the absolute ragged edge.
He's not using all of the track. He's using that and the curb. And the pavement. And the lawn.
The catch fence.
If he's not careful, he's going to kill someone's pet. Jeez. Oh, you must be careful. There's only so much a ragged edge a car can handle before it tells you nope, no more.
It's about to give someone's pet a haircut.
Off air, I'll tell you a story about my car, a Karoo road at midnight, and a rabbit. I gave that rabbit a haircut, that's the short of it.
No rabbits were hurt in the making of this stream. Disclaimer.
Drifting wide.
Yo, he's using all of the track. Wow. But that's how you produce lap time. Oh, there's a good battle here. Hodgson Swanepoel for 7th. Is that? I think that's Hodgson passing Swanepoel here, Werner.
Yes, yeah, he passed him. Look out for Oliphant. He was down to 17th. He hasn't made his stop. And he's probably not going to change tires. He's going to have a very quick refuel. He can probably exit in 6th place. He is in the pits now.
Because you saw a similar strategy from him at Road Atlanta, I think it was. He was on the hard tyre.
Yeah.
And
Did that very long stint.
Yeah, he ran sort of 12 laps before the end, came in, and then he actually gained 2 positions, a net gain for about 2 positions. And he's going to stop quickly. He seems to be doing some work. Oh, very quick.
Very quick, no tyre change, just fuel.
I think just fuel, yeah.
And he's going to be in 5th. So he was all the way down in 17th place by the end of lap 2. He's back up to 5th.
That is a huge net loss by Bashir Jadwat. So who knows what he spent time in the pits for there? I mean, how far back to 2nd position is he now?
He's a minute and 10 seconds.
That's huge. That's not just a splash and dash.
Yeah, his last stop was 1 minute and 20 seconds. A normal stop is 50 seconds. So losing more than half a minute compared to a normal stop.
Not. He must have had.
New fastest lap, Jadwat 204.394.
Yeah, that's probably low fuel, soft tires.
Yeah, it's been a very harsh race for the Ghostworks drivers of Jadwat and Stone. They will be looking back on this race and thinking, you know, we had that race, and it was taken away from them by things outside of their control. Jadwat had a run-in with a back marker, and Stone suffered a disconnect after both of those race drivers were leading the race at some stage.
Jadwat was leading for the first 14 laps. Then we saw Marcus Steyn leading 4 laps. Gabriel Rousseau was leading for 5 laps after that. Langeveld with 2 laps in the lead as well. And now we see Gabriel Rousseau already leading, I think it's 12 laps. So 4 drivers that were in the lead. Looking at Edwards now, interesting to note, he makes the most gear shifts per lap, 40 gear shifts, compared to Willie Font making the least shifts per lap, 30. Three drivers really keeping their noses clean throughout the race: Langeveld, Gunther and Crawford. Langeveld up 4 places, Gunther up 4 places, Crawford from 10th up to 4th.
Oh! No.
That is Harov.
Doing a pirouette. But Langeveld had enough time to react. Hopefully.
Yeah, that was a hairy moment for Harov.
I get it.
What took you so long, Gert?
At least not as bad as the Ghostwork jokes from Monza.
Yeah, that was classic. So Langeveld's enjoying a stunning run here in 2nd position for Team Redline Racing. And so is Chase Gunther in 3rd position for Dodge and Gut. So it's Audi from BMW. In the 4th place man, Gerrit Crawford in an Audi. Oliphant in an Audi and a Lamborghini in 6th position.
I see Hodgson is catching up to Ferrand at a second a lap. He's only 3 seconds behind, so he's going to be up. He's going to have a battle on his hands. 3 laps remaining. Oh, in the back there.
Carl Swanepoel going farming. Marijuana cultivation. All you need to do is just spend about 3 or 4 corners on a lot of these front runners' cars, and you can actually appreciate the amount of setup work that they would have done on these cars. I mean, there's some of these corners that some of these guys are taking where you think to yourself, there's no way he's going to make that. And then the car just bites and it makes... comes down to having spent some time on that. Getting it to do what you want it.
Hodgson taking 8 tenths out of Ferrand on that lap. ...250 kilometers into the race, 185 kilometer an hour average speed. And Gabriel Rousseau 24 seconds ahead, so I think this is going to be 4 out of 4 for him if he can make it last for another 3 laps.
If he wants to make this a perfect, like the last year, did he have a perfect last
no, season?
Yo, the season where you won. No, he didn't have a perfect.
No,
he just won. He just won.
Mr. James won the first race there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. That's correct. Yes.
Oh yes, of course. So he didn't have a perfect season there, but he's actually on track for a perfect year. That I think would also be a.
And he's not letting up. New personal best lap for him, 204.7.
Fantastic. This late in the race. A little bit of fuel being burnt off. And that's also indicative of what he basically, you know, of what he's about. I mean, most of us might, you know, tempted to back off a little bit, you know, bring the car home, know that you've got a bit of a buffer to the guy in second. But he's said it before, even on air, that that's not what he's about. Basically has little markers, little challenges for himself. And if he's not driving the car on the edge, he loses concentration.
So Gert, I gotta ask, when you say back off a bit, what do you exactly mean? Do you turn up the traction control a bit?
No, not at all. It's basically just braking like a meter or two earlier, making sure you make your corners better, get on the gas a little bit later, you make sure that you don't put too much, you don't put your foot down on the loud pedal too harshly before you off a curb. That sort of thing. That's what I mean with backing.
Okay, do you change your traction control at all?
Not really, no. It basically just comes down to being willing to lose 0.4 of a second on a lap, but for the sake of running risk-free laps. But like I said, that's not what Gabriel's about. He's not on the edge, concentration. And when he's on the edge, that's when he's at his best.
Edwards now right behind Lindsay Ray in this battle for 11th.
A good example would be last season when I was running at Bathurst. When I realized I had half a minute gap to the guy behind up in the mountainy bits at Bathurst, I never made contact with any of the walls. And there's a good reason. It's because I took particular care there, knowing that I had a 5, 6, 7 kilometer per hour advantage down the straights like this. So I made sure that I put no damage on the car that was going to hamper my straight lines coming out of those mountains. And that's basically what I mean with just, you know, coming off it just a little bit for the sake of sake.
Well, in my humble opinion, I think Bathurst is probably the most unforgiving circuit. If you make a mistake in those mountain regions, you're really in trouble.
I recognized that very early, and I'm super proud of the fact that I never even touched a car or a barrier that entire race.
Okay, that's one of your master drives. I remember clearly. Absolutely.
I will remember that fondly as well. Sitting in the car, coming down Conrad State, screaming, Conrad! 290 k's an hour, mummy. Two laps to go. Mr. Gabriel so in complete control of this race.
Yeah, he's about to cross the line to start the final lap of this race.
Two battles going on now. Oliphant right behind Crawford and Edwards right on the tailpipe of Lindsay Ray. I gotta see there's a second gap to Oliphant.
Yes, we've seen a very focused Gabriel Rousseau in the South African simGT series this season, not taking part in the qualifying championship, the South African Sim M2 series, and specifically focusing on the GT series, only taking part in the last chance qualifying sessions where only the top 5 fastest drivers go through to complete the grid, and topping each of those sessions without a problem. And yeah, he started every race from pole position except for this one, but has taken victory in every race he has competed in this season at SimRace South Africa. It's a very, very impressive run, and breaking all sorts of records along the way, and of course also defending that title from 2017.1. Masterclass driving here by Gabriel Rousseau, a man on form, on fire, motivated, determined, and this is what we're witnessing this evening, the completion of their project. I'm sure he'll be absolutely stoked.
You pretty much used all the superlatives we could have used. All we can say is ditto.
And
man's on fire.
Absolutely. Just one more corner remaining. And Gabriel Rousseau is the 2017.2 South African simGT Series Drivers Champion for the second time.
Congratulations to Mr. Gabriel Rousseau.
4 out of 4. Great job.
Yeah, congratulations, Gabriel. Amazing performance. And Christopher Langeveld will score a second position finish, his best finish so far in South African simGT. Incredible drive. Kept it very clean, putting in the fastest laps along the way. And that's a BMW finishing in second position. Chase Gunter will get a well-earned podium position result for Dodge and Gut Racing.
Who would have called that? A BMW finished second at the start of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Gert Crawford will get 4th position, just beating Oliphant. The 2 teammates will finish together. So nice points
That
there for
is
our Gibson Racing
fantastic.
team. Yeah.
2 teammates finishing within half a second of each other after 90 minutes of racing.
And a lot of drama
How
as
cool
well.
is that?
Ferrant will get 6th in the Lamborghini. Hodgson will get 7th. And Carl Swanepoel will come through to finish 8th in the KDS Motorsport BMW. Bongi Mabida for Netk 911 will get 9th. Nice result there for Bongi. Well done. The Shejad Watt will recover to 10th position. And Lindsay Ray will just beat Nazim Edwards to 11th. The Echo Racing Audi.
Yeah, look, you have to have a heart of stone if you felt nothing about Bashir Jadwat and Marcus Stein's misfortune. That could not have been... It couldn't have been a nice place to be inside that Discord room.
Absolutely.
My heart goes out to both of them.
And the team's championship is still not decided, as far as I understand. That will go down to the last race at Sebring in 2 weeks' time, where you can watch this race live from Hopper State. Same time schedule as what we had this evening. And we certainly look forward to that race.
Gotta say, a driver that really impressed me, Gert Crawford, made up 6 places throughout the race, and the best consistency of all the drivers. Then Langeveld and Gunther also making up 4 places, and Oliphant coming back from 17th to finish 5th. Then obviously Rousseau with another rock solid race front.
Absolutely. Okay, I think that concludes round 4 of the South African simGT series at Road America. Thank you very much for joining me, Werner and Gert. It's been a pleasure.
Great fun as always.
Thank you.
And you can catch us live again on Wednesday evening for the second split to this championship, the round 4, the South African simGT Challenge from 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday evening. Well, until then, all the best until then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.